everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I am here with a super exciting video. I was sent a couple products by one of my favorite companies, and I could not be more grateful. Cavallari reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do a video on their boots. Basically sizing, putting them on, using them, a review, and I immediately said yes because I have already so many pairs of boots from Cavallari, and I just truthfully, I love their boots. So the first pair of boots I actually bought when I bought 10, so when I bought my first horse, were their fleece-lined dressage boots. And you will have seen these in so many videos. I have two sets of black and 2 sets of white, and I love them. I also have a pair of their tendon boots, and I have a pair of their bell boots. So I love them. I have purchased many pairs of their boots, and I still use them to this day frequently, and they have held up so well. I've had them for, 4 years now. So when they reached out to me, obviously I said 100% yes, because I already purchased stuff from them, and I have purchased stuff for them, and will continue to purchase stuff from them. But they reached out and asked if I wanted to pick out a pair of boots. So I said yes, and when I was on the website filling out the form to pick out what I wanted to have sent to me, I put in a note there because there is a specific half pad, 2 specific half pads that I have been eyeing for so long, and every time I look on their website, they're out of stock. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want this half pad, especially now that 10 had the kissing spine diagnosis. So I put a note in there. I said, I've been searching for these half pads. I never seem to be in stock online. If you have any in stock, I would be absolutely happy to pay for them. Just send me a separate link for the cost of the half pads and I will pay it. So after I submitted that, I got a notification that I had an order shipping to me, and they sent me the 2 half pads I wanted and the boots I picked out for free. So I am so beyond grateful that they were so generous to send these to me. I really honestly don't get sent a whole lot of stuff, and I get emails for things and people reaching out, but I'm very picky on who I want to work with. And at this point in time, there are only 3 companies that I have worked with since I've created my social media, and these were absolutely 100% one of them. So the boots that I picked up were the Pro-K dressage boots, and I got them in white. They have gold accents. They are so beautiful. And the website description, so it says they are a shell that withstands shock, anatomically shaped and designed for dressage horses, absorbs shock, and offers extreme strike protection. Their breathable air vents offer airflow around your horse's legs. They also have a sizing chart online, so there's multiple different sizing options. So essentially, they have options for whether your horse is fine boned or heavy boned. So you can go on there, and then they basically have the horse height. So for these are the ones I got for Zeke. So with these, he is obviously heavy boned and he's over 17 hands. So I got the large for the fronts, and I think I am going to go online and purchase the extra large for the back if I can find them in stock. I don't think they actually have them in stock, but anyway, I'm so excited to use these. And the nice thing about these, so they're essentially like a hybrid between a dressage boot and a jump boot. So they have the hard shell on the back, but it's got the vents, and the vents are actually gold. So stinking cute. And they have the little keepers like you would see on jump boots. They have the mesh around the outside, and then a really nice soft breathable lining on the inside. And what made me want these is because the strike protection on the back. And Zeke kicks his back legs, he kicks his front legs. He is very not safe with his feet, and he just got back shoes put on again. So these are just going to be amazing. So I'm very, very thankful and very excited that they sent me these, and I'm obsessed. The next item I got is obviously a half pad. So I can't afford 2 custom saddles for each horse. I can't afford 6 custom saddles. I mean, there's no way. But I have 2 dressage saddles and 1 jump saddle. So I primarily ride Renita in my jump saddle, and it fits her and 10 pretty dang well. They have pretty similar bodies, and it actually does fit Zeke pretty well too. So, but for Zeke, the jump saddle needs a little bit of a lift in the back, and Renita and 10, I just put a half pad under it to kind of just do the shock absorption type thing. And this one I specifically got obviously for the lift in the back for Zeke in the jump saddle, and the dressage saddles I have sometimes need a little bit of a lift in the back as well. I find that especially on Zeke, he's so built up and like uphill that the saddles tend to be a little bit upright. So I usually need just a little bit of a lift in the back. But the nice thing about this half pad, so if you have like shimmable pads and stuff like that, you obviously have the shims that you put in to adjust the size. They're not tapered. You basically have the shim and then nothing underneath. So there can be some pressure points from the shim. And what I like about this is that it's tapered. So it's obviously thicker in the back, and then it tapers down so there's no harsh line from a shim. It's obviously breathable, doesn't trap air underneath your saddle. It can actually be used with both English and Western saddles, which is really, really cool. And if you need to adjust the size of it, so it's obviously one size, but if you need to adjust the size of it, like you've got a really small saddle, like a 16 or a 16 and a half, you can actually cut down this front part. They left like a area where you can cut through. So I'm very excited for this. This is going to be an amazing addition to my half pads, and one that I know I will be using very, very frequently. And it's so soft, it seems like they would offer a lot of shock absorption and protection. So very excited for that. Now, the most exciting one. This is the half pad that I have been obsessing over and I have wanted for so long. And every time I look online, even right now, it's out of stock. So right now, unfortunately, you cannot get it, but keep checking the website if you're interested in this half pad, because I just have such a good feeling that this is going to be an amazing half pad for 10. So he got recently diagnosed with kissing spine, which I will go into in a whole nother video, the details, all of that. I'm still waiting to get the photos from the x-ray. My vet's so busy, so I'm trying not to pester him about them, but this is the 3D Air Mesh Fleece Lined half pad. So the website says it's a therapeutic half pad for wither protection while allowing enough room for your horse's back's drastic development. So this is something that you can use and be able to use throughout, say you're rehabbing a horse, or you've got a young horse, or one that their muscling is going to change over their top line frequently. It's got the shock absorbing rubber here, 3 spots here and here. And then on the inside, it's got a very soft kind of squishy, I don't even know what this material is, but I'm just super excited for it. I don't know, that's all I can say. It's got gel airflow channels, and it's got the spine, the free spine, so you don't have anything like pressing down on their spine. The fleece trim around the edges, And I really think this is going to be a good half pad for 10, especially. And I mean, for all of them, truthfully, if they don't need something that's like adjusting the fit of the saddle a little bit, I really want every single gel half pad from them, so that way I have every single option, because I just really like how they're tapered. There's not like one big spot and then nothing else. So the anatomics of it and the thought process that goes behind their products just seems so innovative to me, and I just haven't seen really anything like this that is affordable. I think this half pad retails for, it's like $100. They're sold out online, so I can't see how much they are. This one retails for $109, but I don't know how much this one is, to be honest. It doesn't say online because they're sold out right now. But I will put the links down below, so that way, if it does come back, you can follow the link and get the product. So anyway, I am so beyond grateful and so thrilled that they asked if they could send me these products, and I am so stinking excited to go try them. So with that being said, let's go out to the barn and let's try them out.
All right, so this is the half pad under or on top of my saddle pad, and with my Antares, which is a 17.5. So you can see as far as where the rubber parts are, it fits pretty well. So this is me on Renita, the beautiful mare, and I'm going to kind of walk you guys through. I sat down and I started trotting and I was like, oh my God, this feels really good. And just keep in mind, while you're watching this video, I have had essentially a month and a half off from riding. The last time I actually legitimately rode was the horse show in the last horse show that I did the vlog on, so the second week of November. So I took a pretty long break. They all had a month break, and this is the first time I jumped in, gosh, I want to say a month and a half. So the last time I jumped was the day that I trailered out to do the lesson with Ashley Marshall. So Debbie has done 2 training rides on all 3 of the horses prior to me riding them this day, and I could tell a huge difference. I think that mixed with the with the time off, and then also, I'm not even gonna lie, this half pad, I don't know, you'll see later in the video, but I was just like, oh my God. What, like, who are these horses? Why do they feel so good? Especially her. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a video of her, like, straight up just being perfect? She's normally a psychopath, and she seriously was so calm, so amazing, and just perfection. I could also tell a huge difference as far as the way my lower back felt while using this half pad, and it felt amazing. I don't know, there was this weird like sense of just happiness. That's the best way that I can describe this. So you can clearly see here, especially in the canter, she just is like effortless, and she wasn't pulling. She was so light in my hand. I really truthfully don't have any words. I just remember riding her while this was going on, like waiting for the ball to drop and for her to have like one of her moments, and it didn't happen. Even while we were jumping, I was waiting for it to happen. And she got a little strong because she's always going to be strong jumping, but it was nowhere near what it was like and like before. And I mean, the only thing that's legitimately changed is the fact that 1, they had a month off, and 2, this half pad. I mean, that's the sole and only thing that's changed is that. So anyway, I'm not saying like this half pad was a magical cure, but I think it definitely made her significantly more comfortable under saddle, that's for sure. So as part of my warm-up, I definitely tried to keep, for the most part, as uncut as I could. And she was the first ride, so it definitely was lighter out, so the Pivo had an easier time following us, which was nice. But so now I'm going to warm her up over a jump. This was totally my fault. I just tried to fit in an extra. I don't even know what I was thinking. Just please ignore me. I haven't jumped in so long, and I just forgot how to ride. This one was definitely better, and she was so calm going up to it. As it went on with her, it seemed to get a little better, but she was jumping so round and so up, and I don't know, it just was, they were jumping so different, and I feel like it's not like it's been a year since I had jumped. I don't know. She hasn't had any kind of like vet care or anything in the time like 10 and Zeke had. So I don't know, but she was just jumping so round, and I felt like I was having a hard time staying in the saddle. And you'll see coming up in a video, I completely like just get out of control. Like that poor mare. I feel so bad for her. And I was like, well, maybe it's just because she hasn't jumped in a while. It's like, maybe she just, I don't know, maybe she's just really excited and she feels really good, and maybe she's just jumping super, super awesome. But nope, it happened to me on 10 too. So yeah, any of the mistakes made here were 100% and absolutely my fault. Thank God I have such amazing horses that put up with me, because I was riding like a sack of potatoes. Yep, there it is. I was like, I'm so sorry. I apologized to her like 18 times. But then I got it together, went the other direction. Got it together. She got a little strong there, but came back after really nicely. And I was so happy with her. I mean, I just look at her jumping. I have not felt her like this, truthfully, ever. I've never felt her like this. So she was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So happy and so proud of her. So all the love and all the pets for her. Look at that little strut. And then look at her little face. And her little ears perk up. And she's like, oh, gosh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. She's like, where are we going? Man, gotta put the stirrups up. Always be safe. Girl. And then I untacked her and then walked her around in the indoor for a while. But anyway, these are the boots, trying to show you an up close and personal, but my camera skills, because I didn't have any of my filming equipment because I left it in my car and I had my truck. So yeah, that was fun, but they look so beautiful. They'll never look this white again, but there's just something about white boots. So this is another clip from a different day, but I wanted to show them to you again. You like those boots? They are so good, and he's so handsome. So then I decided to go ahead and use this half pad on Zeke too, just because I wanted to get the full effect on all 3 of the horses, if that makes sense. So in between the time I got these and having another ride, I unfortunately wasn't able to use the half pad again. So, or the other half pad, the one with the gel one. But I wanted to use this one. I loved it on Renita. And I actually did like it on Zeke too a lot. It felt really, really good. However, I think just the way the saddle fits on Zeke, it wasn't as fantastic of a feeling on him as it was on her. And that's why I want to try that other half pad with the jump saddle. But with the jump saddle on him, I don't jump him that often, so that's just going to be probably another video, like a part 2 video for that half pad. But I at least wanted to get the video in of this half pad because this is the one I had been dying to try, and then the boots, because while these are technically dressage boots, and that's primarily what I'm going to use them for, I did pop him over a couple fences in them, and truthfully, they were awesome. So you can see I have jumping boots on the back ones, but with the strike protection in the back, I felt comfortable jumping him in them, and they kind of are like a hybrid between a dressage boot and a cross-country boot and a jump boot, if that makes sense. Like, they're flexible on the front, have the strike on the back, and I don't know. But I will say, after jumping and riding all 3 horses and the massive mistakes I made while jumping this day, and giving all 3 horses baths, my back actually did not hurt, which was kind of interesting. So even riding 10 with how uncomfortable he is to ride, it did not hurt. So it definitely has a lot of shock absorption as far as the human goes. So if it's making my back feel good, I would bet that it's making the horses' backs feel good, because if their backs don't feel good, your back is not going to feel good. Am I right or am I right? So just warming him up both directions. And this was, so he already had those Pro Stride injections, and I can start telling a difference now. Absolutely. It takes a while for them to kind of kick in. So now that it's been almost a month, I can really start feeling the effects of it, and I'm hoping it lasts at least like a year. I'm praying. He said like average is 9 months, so I'm hoping. But yes, he was very spooky by this door. This is the first time he's ridden in here with this door being open, so he was like, oh my god, there's so much stuff to look at out there. So you can see every time he goes through, and then he doesn't realize he's jumping, and then he's like, oh my gosh, yay, and then he's like, oh, that was weird. So he kind of takes off after the jumps, especially on this side, because it's his going on his left lead, so he got a little bit flustered, but then he gave me a nice lead change there. Still late behind one, but hey, you know what, that's better than what we had been doing. So he's so happy, and I actually am riding him in a trust bit. I'll put the link down below for which one I am riding him in, because I actually really like it on him, and he seems to like it. Obviously, it can't be used in the hunter ring, but, you know, it is what it is. Little late behind there, but I just thought it'd be a little fun. I mean, I think this fence was like maybe 2.3, 2.6-ish. It's a little bit wide for an oxer, but I didn't really want him barreling at stuff, so I made it a little bit wider just so he stretched out a little bit and had to think about it. But I only went over it a couple times, and he was great. So I think once a month maybe would be fine for him to jump. I don't think, unless we see a significant change in the x-rays later on in this year, because we're obviously doing him in the corrective shoeing and he's been sound and the Pro Stride injections have helped. It's more so just for a brain thing, to let his brain have a little break. And he loves to jump. I mean, you see him listening, but then he's like, oh, the jump, and then those ears go forward. He's listening, and then the ears, he's like, oh, that was good. But that was my fault, clearly. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Your mom is an idiot. I need to get back into jumping. I had been doing so much dressage and very little jumping, and it's different muscles. because I had the horse show in the end of October, and then the one jumping lesson, and then after that, nothing. So then I ended on a little stretchy trot, and he thought about spooking there a little bit, and then he was like, no, I'm good. And then he's like, oh, there's a spook, almost. But yeah, this was Zeke. I was very, very, very happy, and I'm gonna let you guys enjoy this next clip because it's a little sneak peek into some of the spots in the barn. What a good boy. What you think, kiddo? So it goes like all the way. This place is amazing. So these are the boots on 10's back feet. I've got just professional choice ones up front, but the large fit his hinds really, really good. It's funny, Zeke's front legs are actually bigger than 10's hind legs. But yeah, these actually fit his back legs really, really well. So I think I'll use these on him and Renita's back legs, and then obviously the front ones. And then I'll just have to buy mediums for the front legs and extra large for the back legs for Zeke. So medium for their fronts, and then I can just have one pair of large and use, vice versa. But yeah, because I really like these boots a lot. I feel like they're protecting your legs, aren't they? Are they protecting your legs? Yeah, they are. Okay, so now we've got 10. And by this point in time, after riding both Renita and Zeke and giving both of them baths, I was truthfully exhausted. This is the first time legitimately riding my three horses in a day in a while, and I was so tired. I honestly, I probably should have done 10 first because he takes the most leg strength, and just trying to keep myself on him because I don't know if I've ever actually said this, but he's pretty slab-sided. So while he's 17 hands, he's tall, but he's super narrow. So it's like the equivalent of trying to balance yourself on a fence post versus like with Renita and Zeke or a horse that's wider, like a barrel. So that's why I think sometimes I just don't look as good riding him, because it's really hard to ride him. And not because he's like a really hard horse to ride. He's pretty well behaved. He's just very uncomfortable. And so that's why it's so hard to find saddles that fit him. And it just, his conformation too, this poor guy has thing after thing after thing against him. And obviously with the kissing spine, which I did consult a second vet about potential surgery, and she did not think that it would be something that we would want to do yet, but right now just kind of managing. So I think the next step, since I don't see a difference at all with the mesotherapy, would be trying an injection and see what I think. So anyway, that I will get into more of an update later, but I was very pleasantly surprised at how comfortable at least it felt in the saddle on him with this half pad. It definitely helped my back quite a bit. And I realized after I was riding him this day, for one, he was incredibly lazy. Like, I hadn't ridden them in well over a week, and he was so lazy for one. Such a goof. Super lazy, so he was taking so much leg. I didn't have spurs or a whip, as you can see, and he just he took so much. I was like huffing throughout the time that he was doing that, but I was riding with my reins so long. So ignore my reins, ignore me looking like a potato loaf up there. Let's just ignore it and move on, because it'll get better. I'm just out of shape and I need to get back in shape, start doing some no stirrup stuff, and just like honestly get back in the saddle and start riding again. He was having so much fun though. So much fun. So I raised him up a little bit for him. This is probably 3 foot-ish. About 3 foot. Maybe a little bit over 3 foot. Those are 6 foot standards. So it was about 3 foot. Probably 3. But they're wide, so it's foot to foot. So it's a pretty wide oxer. And then I got left behind. And this is where I started like really thinking, I'm like, okay, well, I know you had mesotherapy and you always had a pretty round jump, and a jump that was kind of, I don't want to say hard to stay with, but like it's not a smooth jump. Like he definitely uses his back and really rounds and kicks his hind end up over the fence. So I was like, okay, like I don't know what's going on, because the only thing, with the exception of him and getting the mesotherapy and the SI injections, which I've had before, you know, with Renita, there was no change. Like nothing else has changed. She was in training with Debbie for a long time. And so it's not like she hasn't ever been in training with Debbie before. So I was just like, seriously, the only thing I can think of is, 1, I'm out of shape, which is true. But 2, they were jumping so fantastic. I'm like, they have to be feeling really good and they have to like this half pad. Yeah, and then, yep, that happened. Yep. So he didn't do anything wrong. I got him in too deep and didn't get him forward enough or on his hocks enough before the fence, and he made the most valiant effort and cleared that fence. But in the process of him being amazing, I got launched out of the saddle for the 3rd time of the day. So I'm just so embarrassed by these videos, and I actually posted this one on TikTok, and I literally, like as a joke, and it got like 700 something thousand views, and I got destroyed. So Cavallari, shout out to you for making such an amazing half pad and making my horses jump amazing and jumping me out of the tack. So yeah, I probably needed to raise up my stirrups, because with him I always have to raise my stirrups up a hole or two because of the fact that he doesn't have a barrel to take up my leg. And by that point I was just trying to really just stay in the saddle, so I was over exaggerating it and just trying to stay out of his way and stay balanced. So it was an eventful ride, that is absolutely for sure. So yeah, that I am 100% happy with all of the products that I got sent by Cavallari, and I cannot thank them enough for being so generous to send them to me. And if my horses are going to continue to jump like this, I'm going to have to get a personal trainer so I can stay strong enough to be in the saddle. Because, yeah, they're jumping up and round and beautiful and amazing. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and contribute that to this halfback. Because there's no other explanation, especially with Renita. So I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. All of the products will be linked down below. Keep an eye out for when they do get restocked. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of these clips. And I hope you have a wonderful start to the new year. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.